All right, on to some other stories now, where India recently held a dialogue with 5 Central Asian nations: Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan and also Kyrgyzstan. The foreign ministers of all of these 5 nations were in New Delhi over the weekend. They discussed ways to try and deal with the Taliban and to build consensus over regional peace and security. Now, what is interesting is this meeting coincided with another gathering and took place in our neighbouring nation of Pakistan. The gathering of the OIC, the Organisation of the Islamic Cooperation, its member nations sent their delegates to Islamabad to discuss the issue of Afghanistan. So what did both of these meetings actually conclude with? Our next report gets you all the details.
On Sunday, 2 significant meetings were held on either side of the border. The agenda was more or less the same. The intention, not so much. In New Delhi, foreign ministers of 5 Central Asian nations attended a dialogue with India's External Affairs Minister to build what they called regional consensus on Afghanistan. As the meeting got underway, 688 kilometers away in Islamabad, another one kicked off around the same time. The foreign ministers of OIC, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, gathering in the Pakistani capital to solve what they called an imminent economic collapse in Afghanistan. This meeting was Pakistan's way of telling India that it has an upper hand when it comes to Afghanistan, that it has the support of every stakeholder in Afghanistan. What Pakistan did instead was embarrass itself, all thanks to its Prime Minister Imran Khan. He first played an apologist for the Taliban's diktats on women, like not allowing girls to attend schools. He justified this by calling it a difference of opinion, culture and society.
When we talk about human rights, every society is different. Every society's idea of human rights and women's rights are different. We give stipends to the girl's child's parents to put the girls into school. But in our tribal districts or the district adjoining Afghanistan, if we are not sensitive to the cultural norms of those people, even with stipends, they won't send their girls to school.
After playing an apologist, it was time to play victim. Imran Khan raked up the Kashmir issue, an issue that wasn't even on the agenda. Addressing the gathering, Imran Khan called for a unified plan on Kashmir, a plan to make the Muslim world corner India over Kashmir. Too bad he didn't find any takers. This meeting was about Afghanistan. Pakistan made it about itself. How could anything significant come out of it? The only thing the gathering agreed upon was establishing a joint fund to channel financial aid to Afghanistan. Compare that with the meeting India held. It was a small meeting, but with meaningful outcomes. New Delhi hosted the foreign ministers of Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan and Kyrgyzstan. 5 countries that are not only Afghanistan's neighbors, but key players in the evolving security situation. The foreign ministers of all 5 came to India and sent their deputies to the OIC meeting in Pakistan, a gesture that signifies the importance they attach to India as a force for good. What did they discuss? A host of things. 1. They agreed that they share a broad regional consensus on Afghanistan, a consensus with the same motives of combating terror and restoring peace. 2. They agreed to establish joint working groups for free movement of goods between India and Central Asia. And 3. They agreed to utilize alternative routes like the Chabahar port for trade. Given Pakistan's control on land trade from India to Central Asia, the contrast between the 2 meetings couldn't be more stark. India's meeting was all about finding solutions to the Afghan crisis, in tandem with Central Asian countries. Pakistan's meeting looked more like a forum to justify the Taliban's regressive policies, not to mention push Islamabad's own nefarious agenda on Kashmir. Bureau Report, WION. World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.